Welcome to the Bear Talk, your go-to Chicago Bears podcast, where a father and son break down all things Bears. From Soldier Field to Sunday Showdowns, I'm your host here, Dylan Weaver, and as always, joined here by my dad. Back in the win column for the Bears, Dad. Needed this one. The next three games are going to have a lot of factors and a lot of stuff at stake for this Bears and their playoff hopes, but the Bears take care of business. A lot of people calling it a trap game this week. But when you have Ben Johnson as your coach, there's no such thing as a trap game. The Bears handle business 31-3 in dominant fashion. Got scary a little bit in the first half with just some decisions, but overall, the defense played a great game today. The offense, probably the most complete game this Bears team has played all year, to be honest, from start to finish. But what are your initial thoughts on this?
My thoughts are it's another W in the book. Another W. I mean, what is that now? What is
10
that?
10 wins.
10 wins.
And guess what? Right when we hung up on our call before, guess what? Third NFL coach in history, first-year head coach to win 10 wins in their first season. The Bears got their coach. They got their quarterback. The future is definitely bright for this Bears team.
Yeah, I mean, you bring that up, and we were talking about it during the game today. You think about Colston Loveland rookie, Luther Burden. He had some moves today in -2 feel-like temps. Rome when he gets healthy, right? And then you got Caleb. That O-line is looking good. Trapillo had a couple opportunities today, but, I mean, he's going against – the guy who's going to break the sack record this year. Normally at this time of the year, we're talking about what are we doing in the draft and who are we going to draft for offensive players, right? Because we average, -7 points a game. This year, we're talking about 10 wins, and we're talking about what defensive players are we drafting this year to really put this team in position for a long haul, playoff contention, Super Bowl run. I mean, it feels good to be a Bears fan. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I felt this good to be a Bears fan. I laughed throughout the whole game because it's just so fun to watch. It almost makes you wish for those games where we're coming from behind because those are really exciting. But when you're winning like they won today against the number 1, number 2 defense in the league, I mean, that's an impressive victory for that team. And we know what they've done against other teams out there, hint, hint, wink, wink. You talk about the Packers and, how they played against them and what we can do. I'm feeling good about the next 3 games. I'm feeling real good, which if we could win out, that's 13 wins. It's really, really close to my initial prediction of 15-2 when everyone said I was freaking crazy, but I believe in the monsters of the Midway.
Yeah. And I think on my prediction, I was a little short. You were a little high, and it looks like we're going to meet somewhere right in the middle. But nonetheless,
like Goldilocks.
Yeah.
This is just
not too hot, not too cold. Yep. It's definitely, now that we're at this point in the season, it's cool to see because even when I said 10 wins, I thought it could have been a stretch. But, we're here. The Bears are playing some good football, and now they get to get some revenge next week against the Green Bay Packers and hopefully take care of business. But let's just go over this game. Let's go over, like we do in our post-game shows, let's go over the stats. I got them for you here. We'll start with the team stats that we always do. Wow. I'm just now seeing this for the first time. Bears, 360 total yards of offense to the Browns 192, and probably about 80 of those yards were right there at the end of the game that were garbage. So really good job by the defense today, shutting down the Cleveland offense. Shedeur Sanders was coming off 350-yard performance with 4 touchdowns last week, granted against the Titans, but still he showed flashes of promise. And he showed a couple of flashes today, really, with those 2 deep balls. But outside of that, it really wasn't anything too spectacular. 3 turnovers for the Cleveland Browns, all 3 picks to the Bears defense. Caleb and the Bears offense, no turnovers. 21 first downs for the Bears, 9 for the Browns. Penalties, again, 4 penalties for the Bears, only for 25 yards. 2 of those were false start penalties, which definitely need to get cleaned up. To the Browns, 6 penalties for 21 yards. Third downs today, this is a little weird. Bears 5 for 13, not too good on third down today. To the Browns 4 for 14. Fourth down conversions 1 for 2 for Chicago. To the Cleveland Browns 0 for 1. Red zone, we talk about red zone every post-game show. Bears 3 for 4 today in the red zone. You love to see that. The Cleveland Browns 0 for 1. Time of possession 32 minutes for the Bears to the Cleveland Browns 28 minutes. So pretty dominant across the board team-wise for this Bears team. But let's hop into the Bears. I'm not even really going to touch on this Cleveland offense, their stats. Let's just focus on the Bears in this game. Caleb Williams today was 17 for 28, and that is 60% today, which definitely felt like he had a good day. A lot of drop balls though today for sure. I mean, Luther had a drop, Monungai had 2 drops, Cole Kmet had a drop, a lot of drops in there. So it was looking like he was going to be in the high 70s, maybe even an 80%. But, when drops happen, you can't control it. But at the same time, for the most part, Caleb Williams, outside of that first play, he played a really darn good game today.
Yeah. So, I know we talked about the drops, and believe me, I was very disappointed in the drops that I did see. But what about the DJ Moore, the Caleb Williams throw, DJ Moore catch in the end zone for a touchdown, in between 4 arms of 2 defenders, and somehow magically DJ jumps in the air, grabs it, comes down, touchdown. I mean, these are just magical throws and magical catches, right? Well, I'll give credit on both sides of the delivery and the receiving end of the whole thing, but it's just amazing. It's amazing what Caleb is doing. I don't know if you said the other stat or not about the fastest player or whatever with 1,000 whatever it was, that he broke another record. He owns so many records on the Bears. I mean, it's just unbelievable how many records that Caleb Williams has. And while there's drops, and we got to clean that up, I give it to him. It's -2. That ball's hard as a rock. Their hands are hard as a rock as well. But Caleb playing with the touch today too. The passes he was making, he wasn't throwing rockets where it bounce off, their stone hands from the cold out there. He had touch on that ball and just delivering some clean balls to those receivers. So we clean up those, the few drops that we did have. Cole Kmet, you got to quit trying to fall forward on the ground when you're trying to catch the ball. Catch the ball in motion. Keep going. He's consistently doing that, which is an opportunity. I mean, those are yards that we're wasting there by doing those. It's almost like he's the kid in high school. He's playing 500 and wants to go for the spectacular diving catch ball when you really don't need to. Just keep running and catch it in motion.
It's not even him diving. It's just he does this thing where he falls backwards when the ball hits him in perfect stride, but he chooses to fall backwards while trying to catch it instead of just running through the football. It's been a big theme this year with him where every time these routes over the middle, he's like falling backwards trying to catch it. And when instead, if you run in stride, dude, that's a catch, and you're probably running through the tackle because these cornerbacks and safeties, they don't want to tackle these big guys. And Cole Kmet is definitely a big guy. But let's finish up the stats. 17 for 28 for Caleb, like I said, 242 yards today, 2 touchdowns. He did take 3 sacks today, which I think is the highest he's taken this season. He's been averaging about 1.5 a game. I don't think he's got sacked 3 times. I know he's got sacked twice in a game, a couple of times, but I don't think 3. So 3 sacks for him, 112.5 passer rating today. And the rushing 18 carries for DeAndre Swift for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 5.4 yards a carry. Kyle Monungai, 11 carries for 33 yards, 3 yards a carry. Caleb Williams had 13 carries or 13 yards as well on the ground. When it comes to the receiving, Luther Burden leads the team in catches today, 6 catches, 84 yards. Love to see that from the rookie. 7 targets. So in that one where he caught 6, and then he had that other one that he dropped. He probably would have had a 100-yard day today if he did catch that ball because that was like a 20-yard pass. But nonetheless, Luther Burden leading the way. And DJ Moore, who didn't come off a single. Well, he had the one catch last week, but outside of that, didn't have anything. 4 catches today for him for 69 yards, 2 touchdowns in the receiving. Colston Loveland, once again, these rookies, you've said it, they're trending in the right direction. 4 catches for Colston Loveland for 63 yards, and then 2 catches for Cole Kmet for 28 yards. When it comes to this Bears defense, I said 3 sacks coming into the game. The Bears finished with 5 today. Awesome job. The defense definitely need to get penetration with, the Browns offensive line being pretty beat up. But Austin Booker leads the way. He had 2 sacks today. DeMarco Jackson had the sack as well. Grady Jarrett with a sack, and Jervon Dexter also with a sack. So you love to see that. And when it comes to the defense, the 3 interceptions today, they continue to take the ball away at a high rate. That's why they lead the league in turnovers and interceptions. CJ Gardner-Johnson with a beautiful pick. DeMarco Jackson with a beautiful pick. And last but not least, welcome back, Jaylon Johnson. That was probably the best pick of the day, because Shedeur actually put a beautiful ball right on Jerry Jeudy in his chest, and Jaylon fought through it, ends up coming up with the football, and somehow toe taps in the sideline to keep his feet in bounds while holding on to the football. So shout out to those 3 guys. And I want to give a special shout out to Devin Duvernay today. 2 kick returns for 82 yards, averaged 40 yards a kick return. And on the punt returns, 3 for 45, averaging 15 yards a return. We haven't got to see Devin Duvernay. He's a former Pro Bowler in special teams and kick returns, but we haven't got to see him. Yeah, he catches the ball and makes sure he doesn't muff it, but we haven't got to see him make good returns on a lot of these. And today I thought he played tremendous every time. It's just unfortunate because the 2 kick returns, he put us in beautiful field position. I think the Bears went 3 and out. The opening drive, the Bears went 3 and out, and then he had the other one when Cleveland scored that field goal, and he got us right at the 50-yard line again, and we didn't capitalize off of it. So definitely need to capitalize those, but I wanted to give a shout-out to Devin Duvernay. Cairo Santos, 1 for 2 today. If Cairo goes 2 for 2, this special teams had an A-plus game today. They had great kickoff coverage, great return. Just Cairo missed that 1 field goal, and it was like a 30-yard chip shot. So that cannot happen. Obviously, it's in the cold, but no excuses. You got to make the kick. And then Torrey Taylor, 4 punts today for 172 yards, averaging 43 yards a carry, or 43 yards a punt. He pinned 3 of them inside the 20, 1 on the 1-yard line. So great job from Torrey Taylor today as well. But it was, like I said, this is probably the most complete game the Bears have played. The only one I can think back to is maybe Dallas, where it was a full team win. This one, though, felt complete from really start to finish of the game. So it was good to see that, especially in a team that's 3-10 coming into today. You got to take care of business, still prove you're one of those top teams, and the Bears did. I mean, they demolished the Browns, demolished them.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, right, I mean, they're nothing to worry about, and I'm not going to celebrate that. But from a defensive standpoint, that Browns team, like I said earlier, they're top 1, top 2. So to put up that many points with some of the opportunities that we can clean up, it's a pretty impressive win to have that. So I'm excited about it. This is the only thing I'm really going to say because I don't have much else to talk about. It is Packers week once again.
Yep.
We need to regroup, refocus, and from now until Saturday night, be thinking about how do we beat the Packers in Soldier Field. Hopefully the weather is not -2. Although they do call him Iceman, and in -2 you can be nothing but Iceman. So maybe that's the trick. Maybe it's another -2, -5 degree weather game for Caleb, and he can put up those type of numbers because it's Packers week again. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's definitely Packers week, and I wanted to touch on Caleb a little bit today. You already hinted at it, with the touch passes today. You didn't see many bullets that, he has that arm strength to throw the bullets, but with Caleb today, I mean, several just putting the right amount of touch on the football, knowing he can do that, which is a huge thing we feel like he needed to work on because he has all the arm talent in the world. It's just sometimes you got to know when to hone it back and put it there and let your receivers run under it. And the perfect example, I think it was what's his face on that first touchdown to DJ Moore. I mean, it might be his best throw of his career, honestly. Just when in terms of touch pass, because he literally across his body puts it right into the corner, lets DJ run right underneath it, and it was honestly tremendous watching it. Like, I think we both in the moment were like, oh my God, like it was just a perfect precision, right amount of touch elevated. And he had several of them today where he realized the moment he doesn't need to sling it 500 miles per hour like he can, and just puts it right into the spot and lets the receiver go make a play on it.
Yeah, and the other stat that I was looking for, I don't think you mentioned it though. Fewest interceptions in his first 1,000 passes in the NFL. So
NFL history, by the way, that's not a Bears record. That's
it's
NFL.
Another NFL record that he has, and people, I don't think people realize how many NFL records he holds in only the 27 games that he started.
He's impressive, man. He is indeed the future, and it's just about developing him. And under Ben Johnson, you can expect that to happen. The guy's an offensive guru, and like I said, Ben Johnson talked about in the beginning of the year, this is year one, and it is a very complex offense. Like, as time goes on, if this is the floor of what his offense can look like, just imagine what it can look like going forward. So it's like a beautiful thing to think of, and it's just all the imaginabilities are like, the possibilities are endless, I should say, when it comes to this offense. But I really just wanted to highlight Caleb because I thought, he played a tremendous game today. Like, seriously, I thought he played a really good game.
Yep, especially against that defense. There's
a lot of teams like here. Let me pull this up. Like, there's a lot of teams that have played the Browns this year against this defense, and yeah, they've won the game, but it's not been like this. Granted, the Titans did put 31 on them last week too, but in general, the Cleveland Browns have, like the announcer said, statistically, they are the number 2 defense in the NFL when it comes to all that. So, like, let's just take a look here for example. First week, obviously the Browns, no Joe Burrow wasn't there, but the Browns won 17-16 with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all those weapons they have.
They actually lost.
Well, no, the Bengals won. They won that game. Yeah. But the Packers lost 10-13. The Packers put 10 points on them. The Vikings 21-17. The Dolphins 6 points on them. The Patriots, who are a good team, put up 31 points as well. So, it's like, the 49ers, who we see in a couple weeks, they put 26 points up. Like, the Bears did their job on the offensive side of the ball and taking care of this defense. So it was definitely good to see. We just got to see if, speaking of, while we're on here, the Lions just drove down the field, had a 30-yard chip shot, and just shanked a field goal. So go Bears. We need the Rams to win today, but that's a side note. But the Bears, it was impressive. The offense, and there was still, like we talked about, the 2 kick returns to the 50-yard line. Like, there's way more points left out there that this Bears offense, and then with the drops, like we talked about, there's a lot of meat left on the bone. We almost talk about it every week, how much is left out on that football field. And
this is not their ceiling.
Obviously, no team is going to play a perfect game, but it's not like it's 1 or 2 plays. There's a bunch of plays every week that you can look at and be like, and it's not a stretch to say, just catch the ball. Like, it's simple as that, and it's a whole different ball game. So I just think, though, it was good to see because it's late in the year now, and we're seeing this, this defense start to play a little bit better. And on top of it, we're starting to see the offense play more of a complete football game. So it was really good to see and encouraging to see from our defense.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, like I said, I don't have much to say about this game. It's short-term memory. The game is over with. It's done. We won. It's another mark in the win column. It's all about Packers week, and we need the Lions to lose today. I know you said it doesn't matter, but I still want the Packers to lose to Bo Nix today. And I want to beat the Packers next week.
Yep, the Broncos are driving. Just to update for you, but
let them drive.
I do want to talk to a little bit about the defense too, because the one thing with the defense is they're usually pretty good in passing defense, but running defense teams usually run on them. And Quinshon Judkins is having, I think he leads all rookie running backs in yards. Like, we held him to 21 yards today, 21 on 12 carries. That's 1.8 yards a carry. So the defensive line.
They did have their O-line. The Browns had their O-line like all out today.
Well, I get it. I'm just saying though, it's still a good job. You got to give credit where credit's due. Like, even though their people are out, like Judkins he leads the rookies in rushing yards, and it's not even close. Like, he's had actually a really good year. I'm pretty sure he ran against the Packers for like 150 when they played him. So it was encouraging to see. I just wanted to touch on that. I mean, obviously the secondary, they're going to do their job and get their takeaways like they always do. So it was good to see that as well. But nonetheless, like you said, it's not much to talk about. It's pretty dominant from start to finish. I don't know if you want to talk about anything. I do want to kind of talk about that fourth down. That kind of just rubbed me the wrong way in the game, as it's happening, because it's 4th and 3. You're at the 50-yard line. You can pin them deep again. Their offense has no momentum, but we go for it. And that was probably one play where Caleb wants back because Cole Kmet was open in the flat, but still, I just didn't like the decision going for it. But with Ben Johnson, you're going to have to live and die by it. And most of the times it works out. It would just happen to be one of the times it didn't work out.
Yeah, there's only one other thing I'd like to talk about that it was just kind of cool. Thank goodness Tevin Jenkins isn't on our team anymore because that guy, holy cow. And when he was healthy, he was decent, right? He was serviceable on our team, but he continues in 2025 to have more injuries. In fact, he's got a shoulder injury going on. So, I mean, I wish nothing but the best for anybody, and I hope they all get their flowers and are successful and things of that nature, but go be somewhere else and do that. So I am glad he was on the Browns and not on the Bears. That Bears O-line that we've, put together is hands down to a lot of the success that we're having this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we've talked about this O-line a bunch, this interior, the whole O-line in general. It's really starting to look like a complete group. And I just wonder what goes through some of these former Bears, just seeing the Bears play. Like, they're so like, God, I wish I could have been a part of this Bears. Like, Tevin Jenkins is sitting on the other side of that field today. Like, wow, they're not the same old Bears.
Yeah. And speaking of injuries, I guess I didn't realize this because he was kind of a non-factor in the whole game. But in the third quarter, he went out with a shoulder injury. So in the game,
he came into the game with that shoulder. He was on the injury report.
Well, he went out with it again. So
yeah, but it is good. I feel bad for some of the players, but at the same time, you had your opportunity to be here. It just we got Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson makes the right moves for a right reason. He says, "See you later. We don't need you. We got other reinforcements coming in that are ready to win." So it was good to see, just this team continue to show promise, and the future is brighter than it's ever been as a Bears fan in my lifetime, for sure. It's exciting to watch. And oh no. Oh my God.
What's wrong?
Tackle him. Thank you. Oh my, Jared Goff just threw almost a pick six to freaking Aiden Hutchinson, and he returned it to about the 10-yard line. They were about to score too. But there's that. But really just a great game overall. Let's go. I think we've talked enough. It's like you said, there's not really much to talk about. We can sit here and keep trying to drag it out, but really not much to talk about. Let's go with our offense and defensive MVPs of the game. We predict them before the game starts. Looks like you're trying to have a little bit of a thought of who you want to give it to. So I'm going to kick it off. I'll kick it off today. Offensively, I'm going to give mine to DJ Moore. Big bounce back game for him. He's had a kind of a quiet season. other than the Pittsburgh game, this was another big game for DJ Moore. So I think DJ Moore deserves it. 2 touchdowns today and the 1 catch. Obviously, we talked about it. It's a great throw, but seriously, it was a tremendous catch. I mean, a tremendous throw by Caleb Williams to thread the needle there. And then when it comes to the defense, there's so many different guys we could give it to with the interceptions. I'm going to give mine to Jaylon Johnson because he's been out all season, really dealing with that groin, finally had surgery on it, and it's probably got to feel good for him to get a pick. In the NFL, you never know when your time can come to an end. Obviously, he's still a young player, but with injuries like that, you never know if they're going to be the same player, and it was just good to see him make a great defensive play. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Jaylon Johnson and give him that game ball.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Those are some good picks. I'm going to stick with the O-line, like I said in the pregame. I think the O-line did a great job once again for the Bears, especially against, like we said, number 1, number 2 defense in the league. So kudos to them for what they did. Although Miles, did get a sack and a half, whatever they want to call it. But that's Myles Garrett, right? I mean, he's like Superman, just visiting Earth while he's here. And then from a defensive side of the ball, I mean, you picked Jaylon. CJ was awesome. Nahshon Wright was great. I mean,
Austin Booker had 2 sacks.
Austin Booker. I mean, there's so many to pick from. I mean, you know what? No, I'm giving it to Al Harris.
I was about to. I think we haven't watched the video because we hopped on here right away, but I think that's the game ball Ben Johnson's going to give to because, I mean, when you have 3 different people get interceptions, it's kind of hard to pick one who to give it to, and then you can just do the common denominator, which is Al Harris, who coaches these players every day.
And just his excitement on the sideline when they do get the ball. He's like a little kid jumping up and down all giddy for them and excited for them and what they accomplished. So O-line, team win on that side of the ball, and then Al Harris for his coaching. Just good job with that defensive back group.
Yeah, and I want to say too, there was a cool little segment they showed on the broadcast today that I thought was really cool behind the scenes. At the Bears in their meeting rooms, Al Harris has like a cage of balls, and every time one of them gets an interception, they sign it and it goes in the cage. So I thought that was really cool because that's a good way to motivate your players too. Now they want to get picks and sign the ball and put it in the cage and show that they contributed something to these takeaways. So I think it's a really cool thing that Al Harris is doing over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little quick fact on Al Harris. He just celebrated his birthday. December 7th was his birthday, 51 years old. So good for that young man and what he's doing with his career. He's doing an awesome job.
Yeah, hopefully he's not doing too good, though, where we can have him for another year because he looks like he might be getting poached. And, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it. There was some crazy stat I was looking at with him, too. Like, the past 3 out of the past 4 years, he's had the interception leader in the NFL on his defense. Like, this guy has a knack for teaching these secondary, how to, get the football and take it away. And I just hope, maybe we get him for 1 more year, but he might be getting poached and, it happens. So we'll see what happens.
I think he's, I think he'll be smart enough and he sticks around 1 more year.
No, that's not. Listen, I get it. You want him to stay in the Bears. It's a little bit of bias, but at the same time, that's what these coaches are doing. It's same thing with your job. You're a coach. You're doing a job. You're coaching for a promotion. That's what you're doing, and it's the right thing. And he deserves it. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have him for 1 more year, but he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I hear you. I definitely agree with you.
But I think that'll wrap it up for this episode. Quick, short, easy. I got a little work Christmas party to get to, so we wanted to hop on and get this done before doing it later tonight. But nonetheless, great game from the Bears. Way to get back in the win column. And as you said, got Green Bay next week. Got to go find a way to get your revenge on Green Bay and make a statement. Because if you get to 11 wins and hopefully the Lions lose, it should be all right, but you never know. We'll see what happens. just a quick thing for our viewers out there too. We got another guest joining us next week. Not the same two Packer buddies. I got a different Packer buddy I went to high school with back in Illinois. He's a huge Packers fan. I'm excited to have him on the show. So definitely tune into that, get a different Packers fan perspective of, the Packers season and what he thinks of the Bears. But we will catch you next week. That'll do it for this week. But until then, bear down.